Cairn Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @CairnReview. That is @CuendReview. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@cuenreview.com. That is INFORMATION@CuendReview.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's podcast, as published on Wednesday the 14th of February, is read to you by volunteers Corey, Hunter, Ian, Philip and Rebecca. Safety fears over ash tree. A public safety row has broken out between a group of residents in Bishopbriggs and a forestry management firm. Locals of Dunbarton Gardens in the town have been asking for a mature ash tree to be maintained by Scottish Woodlands Limited, SWL, with homeowners saying they are concerned about how imposing the tree is. They have also raised concerns about the safety of the tree, previously voicing fears of falling branches. That was before a similar tree nearby was toppled by recent high winds. However, having assessed the 50-year-old ash tree, SWL have concluded it to be safe and advised residents that they are within their right to maintain the tree themselves. A spokesman for the firm told us, "This tree, and others in this area, are protected through the planning conditions associated with the Bishop's Meadow development. As such, we cannot carry any works out on them unless they are dead, dying or dangerous." In a bid to reassure residents, the spokesperson added, "We had an independent qualified arborist carry out surveys on the tree in question, and they concluded the tree is in a safe condition at this time, and no further action is needed as the tree is healthy. Our site manager visits the site monthly and, as part of their inspection, checks this tree and trees in the area, so the trees are continuously being monitored. Residents say the tree is over 55 feet tall and overhangs into gardens, causing shading." The spokesman said that SWL have written to residents advising of their findings, advising that if there is any concern regarding any branches overhanging their property, they are within their legal rights to remove the branches. However, this has infuriated locals who have been called the approach bureaucratic, claiming it fails to take in the real-life impact of the huge tree. Resident Jack Bennett told us, "What they fail to mention is the intimidating height of the tree, the impact this has in terms of shading, blocking light into our property and affecting our general amenity. To say they cannot carry out general maintenance to the tree without endangering the tree is laughable. We've had professional tree surgeons out who have confirmed the type of careful and appropriate pruning work that can be safely carried out." The tree surgeon also stated that as there is early signs of ash dieback and careful pruning would be beneficial to the tree. They also indicated, via their contacts within the local council, that planning wouldn't have an issue with such works as long as it was run past them first and carried out by qualified operatives. "I note they say I can carry out work, but it should weaken the tree. So, in short, the tree can grow, spread and affect our general immunity unabated. What kind of position is that? To say that cannot carry out general maintenance to the tree without endangering the tree is laughable." A video sent to the Herald shows a tree having been blown over in last week's high winds. Jack added, "Whilst it was windy, it was by no means a storm." This shows SWL's position on trees in our area to be, at best, weak and unsustainable. Residents in the newer properties are not at all happy. There are genuine public safety issues now at play here, and SWL surely have to review their position. The Woodland Trust estimates that ash dieback will kill up to 80% of ash trees across the UK. Caused by fungus, the disease affects trees of all ages. Young trees can be killed in one season, and older trees tend to succumb after several seasons of infection. It will change the landscape forever, and they threaten many species which rely on ash. And that article was read by me, Ian. This week in history. February the 15th, 1942, Singapore surrendered to Japan. A heavy and far-reaching military defeat, said Winston Churchill of the loss of the fortress. On this day last year, Nicola Sturgeon resigns as Scotland's First Minister in a surprise decision that triggered the Scottish National Party's first leadership contest in nearly 20 years. February the 16th, 1822, Francis Galton, founder of a new science called eugenics, was born in Birmingham. Among his ideas was the systematic creation of a superior race of human beings, later tried by Hitler. On this day last year, the family of Hollywood actor Bruce Willis announced the star had been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. February 17th, 1959, the Queen allowed Marlborough House to be used by the government and, as a result, it became the home of the Commonwealth Secretariat and the Commonwealth Foundation. February 18th, 2005, fox hunting became illegal in England and Wales. The Hunting Act outlawed hunting with dogs. On this day last year, record numbers of households in the UK were depending on food banks, a report by organisers revealed. February the 19th, 1942, the Japanese bombed the Australian city of Darwin.
MSP's Care Bill change for children. New protections to prevent the use of handcuffs and other inappropriate physical restraint during the transportation of children in secure care have been delivered by West Scotland Scottish Green MSP Ross Greer. It closes a glaring gap in safeguarding young people's welfare, described as a black hole by Mr Greer, who oversaw the changes by bringing in an amendment to the Children's Care and Justice Bill. His success introducing the change means that for the first time standards will be set for secure transportation of children, including on issues such as the use of physical restraint. Mr Greer's amendments follow concerns raised by campaign groups, the Children and Young People's Commission, and young people themselves regarding the inappropriate use of handcuffs and other painful physical restraints during journeys. As well as a lack of rules or standards for secure transport providers, there is currently no requirement to report incidents during the transportation of a child in secure care. This has resulted in what Mr Greer described during a parliamentary debate as a black hole at the centre of the system for protecting vulnerable children and young people. Once the Children's Care and Justice Bill is passed as a whole this spring, the Scottish Government will be required to produce a set of mandatory standards for secure transport providers. Both government and local councils will also be required to publish regular reports on the quality of secure transport services, including where there have been incidents of restraint. Mr Greer's amendment was developed with support from the Hope Instead of Handcuffs campaign and the Scottish Government, and was supported unanimously by MSPs on the Scottish Parliament's Education, Children and Young People's Committee. Scottish Greens Education spokesperson and West of Scotland MSP Mr Greer said, No one could explain to Parliament why secure transport was the only part of the secure care system to be effectively unregulated. That's just not good enough when we're talking about vulnerable and often traumatised young people. So I am glad that the Scottish Government and all other parties have supported my proposal to finally apply some minimum standards. Parliament heard stories of young people being inappropriately handcuffed and needlessly and aggressively restrained by secure transport providers, often without their care provider even being informed. These standards should be eliminated and such unacceptable behaviours and shine a line on what is happening in the secure transport system. Everyone who is in the care of the state deserves to be safe, especially of vulnerable children. Read by Rebecca.
Rona speaks up at debate for deafblind at Holyrood. A group of deafblind people from Lenzie met up with Strathkelvin and Bearsden MSP Rona Mackay at the Scottish Parliament last week after the local politician led a debate pressing for more help for those living with dual sensory loss. The local SNP MSP used the debate at Holyrood to call for deafblindness to be recognised as a distinct disability in Scotland, calling it a crucial step towards identifying, diagnosing and supporting those with the condition. Ms Mackay is a long-term supporter of national charity Deafblind Scotland, whose state-of-the-art HQ is in Lenzie, Kirkintilloch. Some 30 deafblind supporters and service users lined the gallery at the debate on Wednesday, February the 7th, along with British Sign Language interpreters. Ms Mackay said, "Deafblindness can be a hugely debilitating condition, but the tireless campaign work of organisations like Deafblind Scotland have made an immeasurable difference to those with dual sensory loss. It is estimated that in Scotland there are at least 34,000 deafblind people. However, we do not know the true number as this condition is not recognised as a distinct disability. Adopting the definition of deafblindness will be a crucial step towards identifying, diagnosing and supporting people with dual sensory loss in this country." Isabella Goldie, CEO of Deafblind Scotland at Lenzie, said, "We are delighted to have such strong support from Rona. Hopefully we can see a moment of change in the near future in Scotland for deafblind people."
Nominate your health hero for prestigious NHS awards as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. Do you know someone who deserves to be recognised for their outstanding contributions in healthcare within NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde? This year's Celebrating Success Excellent Awards nominations are now open as the Health Board looks to honour the dedication and hard work of its staff. Everyday staff deliver outstanding patient care and go that extra mile to ensure all patients and their families are looked after, and now they want you to tell them about the stars. Not only are they looking to celebrate the tremendous efforts of staff, they also are looking for services that staff have moulded to patients' needs or projects that have transformed the way they work. Deadline for submitting nominations is Monday, February the 19th, and a panel of judges will then evaluate each individual submission to ensure a fair and thorough selection process is carried out. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde Chief Executive Jane Grant said, "Each and individual staff member strives to provide the best possible care for our patients, and the Excellence Awards look to highlight the extraordinary efforts and unwavering commitment of teams and individuals within NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde. As we seek nominations for this year's awards, I would like to thank everyone for their continued hard work, especially throughout the challenging winter period. These awards allow us to really celebrate the outstanding work that goes on within NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde, and to recognise our amazing and dedicated staff. You can vote online."
Cinema hits are in town. Films fizzing with fun, adventure and old-school glamour are on the way to Kirkintilloch Town Hall as Willy Wonka, Paw Patrol and Marilyn Monroe all take a bow. The Kirky Picture Palace is back, courtesy of your Kirky, Kirkintilloch Community Council. Coming up on Saturday, February 24th is Paw Patrol, the mighty movie, followed by Wonka, a magical musical chock-a-block with songs, sweets and silliness, telling the story of the young Willy Wonka as he dreams of becoming a confectionery king. There is also a dementia-friendly screening of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes on Friday, February the 16th at 2 p.m. The classic 1953 film starring Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell, combining comedy and lush musical numbers, including the iconic Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. And there is also a baby-friendly screening of The Treasure Planet on Tuesday, February 27th. This is an epic animated sci-fi adaptation of Robert Louis Stevenson's adventure novel, Treasure Island. The Kirky Picture Palace is organised by Your Kirky and supported by East Dunbartonshire Leisure and Culture, EDLC Trust, which operates in Kirkintilloch Town Hall. Councillor Jim Gibbons, chairman of EDLC, is looking forward to up-and-coming screenings. He said, "It's great to see so many people enjoying films, old and new, at the heart of the Kirkintilloch community. I hope movie fans can continue to support the initiative and the Town Hall. Well done to all involved." The Kirkintilloch Picture Palace relies on the star-studded efforts of a team of volunteers, including George Crooks. He told us, "The fact that we work as a team is great. I enjoy the social and fun side of things, harmony, fellowship and chatting to the community in general." In the past, the Kirky Picture Palace has organised screenings in local schools and aims to expand that service, potentially including local community centres and more. To inquire about hiring the mobile cinema, email kirkyfilmhub@gmail.com. For more, visit yourkirky.com/KirkyPicturePalace and check out Your Kirky on social media.
Small business opportunity. Small businesses in Kirkintilloch are being offered a unique opportunity to showcase and sell their products at Scotland's Ideal Home Show at the ACC. And that's thanks to small business specialist I Do Handmade. The Ideal Home Show runs from May the 24th to the 27th and sees more than 29,000 visitors over the 4 days. I Do Handmade is hosting a small business village at the show, specifically for small handmade businesses, giving them exposure and selling opportunities to a wide audience. I Do Handmade owners, mother and daughter duo Becky and Wendy, once ran their own handcrafted business making and selling craft kits, but after lockdown switched to supporting other small businesses. Small businesses exhibiting in the Small Business Village will be able to take payments directly at their stall using their own wireless payment methods and will take home 100% of whatever they sell. You can find out more about I Do Handmade's Small Business Village at the SEC online.
Glasgow 3D research paper gets wide acclaim. A Scottish medical paper exploring the prospect of 3D printing hip and knee joint replacements mixed with patients' own biological cells into the body has gained international recognition. The research paper, co-authored by orthopaedic specialists at the NHS Golden Jubilee in collaboration with the University of Strathclyde, investigated the use of 3D bioprinting technology with patients' stem cells and other substances found in bones, like calcium, in order to create scaffolds that could help regenerate bone defects in the body. The paper, entitled 3D Bioactive Composite Scaffolds for Bone Tissue Engineering, was published in the influential medical journal Bioactive Materials in 2017 and has been awarded Best Paper by KI as part of publishers' 10-year anniversary celebrations, selected from over 200 papers published during the last decade. To date, it has received more than 1,100 citations by other orthopaedic specialists and researchers, making it a landmark paper in its field. Bone is the second most commonly transplanted tissue worldwide, with over 4 million operations using bone grafts or bone substitute materials annually to treat bone defects. Developing bioactive 3D scaffolds to support bone regeneration has now become a key area of focus within the rapidly expanding field of bone tissue engineering. The primary author, Gareth Turnbull, was a clinical research fellow at NHS Golden Jubilee when the paper was written, and it also contributed to his biomedical engineering PhD at the University of Strathclyde, which awarded university status to NHS Golden Jubilee last year. The collaborative partnership is aimed to assist the recovery and remobilisation of NHS Scotland through innovation in healthcare practice, as well as build the clinical research fellowship programme to produce more cutting edge in research in future. Mr. Turnbull said, "The reason we looked into this area is because a lot of patients can develop significant bone loss or destruction due to a number of conditions, such as arthritis, cancer, infection or trauma. When patients lose bone, it can be a difficult and time-consuming process to regenerate or heal these defects. The idea is that by using 3D printing technology combined with biological components such as patient stem cells, we'll be able to produce live biological implants that could be placed into patients and heal into place within them, instead of the current alternative like metal implants, which can fail over time in the body as they wear out or become loose. The main benefit for patients would be that instead of having your tumour or bone defect treated with an artificial implant or having your arthritis treated with joint replacement, you would be able to receive a biological implant that would potentially contain your own cells that would then grow into your own body and become part of you. The orthopaedic team at the Jubilee currently performs around 30% of all hip and knee replacements in Scotland and is known for leading the way in a number of innovative techniques, including the use of robotics in joint replacements and enhanced recovery after surgery, ERAS pathways.
Ticking the right boxes. The Care Inspectorate has given East Dunbartonshire's fostering service a glowing report following a visit by a team of inspectors. The service provides care for children and young people from birth to 18 who are assessed as in need of this type of support. The inspection, conducted in October and November 2023, rated the service as very good for supporting people's well-being and good for how well their care and support is planned. Welcoming the report, Caroline Sinclair, Chief Officer, East Dunbartonshire Health and Social Care Partnership, HSCP, said, "The inspectors found significant strengths in aspects of the care we provide and how these supported positive outcomes for children and their families across all areas of their lives. They noted that our caregivers provided nurturing, trauma-informed care supported by employees who are highly skilled, knowledgeable and responsible. The skills and commitment of our team, combined with enduring relationships and emotional care, is integral to enabling caregivers to provide therapeutic and individual care. While there is always room for improvement, the strengths identified by the inspectors are highlighted as having significant positive impact on children's experiences. During the visit, the inspectors talked to caregivers, children and young people using the system, external professionals, and worked closely with the team leader and employees. The inspection team found the following strengths. Children experienced high standards of care. They had developed meaningful relationships characterised by security, predictability and love. Children were supported to maintain meaningful relationships with extended family members, significant birth family members, and were involved in the wider community. There was evidence of positive outcomes for children. This was supported by high-quality assessments of caregivers and in the high-level support provided following the placement of children. The service has been creative and proactive in their efforts to progress delays for children who require permanent care. Ms Sinclair continued, "We value the opportunity to learn from the inspection findings so we can continue to improve the way that we plan services. Foster care transforms lives. I see this every day. Children and young people flourishing in our care and achieving in all areas of their lives. I also see the real satisfaction and pride that foster carers experience from helping these youngsters reach their full potential. East Dunbartonshire is a network of dedicated carers, but several long-term carers are retiring and new carers are needed. Children and young people need foster care when they're not able to remain at home with their birth families. Fostering includes providing care in emergencies, for a few weeks or months until children can return to their families, or for longer periods of time, including permanent care. Foster carers can come from all kinds of backgrounds and experiences." Schools Championships, a celebration of our pipe bands. A record 73 school bands will take centre stage at the 10th Scottish Schools Pipe Band Championships next month. The championships, the largest event of its kind in the world, sees schools, pipe bands, freestyle groups and quartets gather to celebrate young musical talent. Alex Duncan, CEO of the organising charity, said, "The championships has been going from strength to strength since the start in 2013. There is something for every level, quartets for beginners right up to juvenile grade for bands at the top of their game. The freestyle competition is very popular, where any style of music and in any combination of instruments go, as long as they include the pipes. This year it sees 17 freestyle bands ready to battle it out in March. The event will take place on Sunday, March the 10th at the William McIlvenney campus in Kilmarnock. David Johnson, convener of the SSPDT, said, "The championships are one of the highlights of many schools' calendars, and we can't wait to welcome everyone. Also, anyone wanting to start a pipe band in their school is also very welcome to come and see what can be achieved. It's always a special day at the championships. The team at East Ayrshire Council, which is hosting the event at the William McIlvenney campus, are superb and will help make it a very enjoyable day. Pipe bands build confidence, resilience, friendships, perseverance and other skills that help young people succeed in life. Teachers are still seeing the effects of the pandemic on young people and more than ever recognise how pipe bands support well-being and wider achievement. The championship is independently organised by the Scottish Schools Pipes and Drums Trust, SSPDT. It carries the support of the Royal Scottish Pipe Band Association, RSPBA, but it's not an RSPBA competition. Provost Jim Todd, East Ayrshire Council, said, "The Pipes will be calling us to Kilmarnock Academy at the William McIlvenney campus on March 10th for the Scottish Schools Pipe Band Championships. It is a real honour to be hosting the competition, which is now in its 10th year, and to welcome young people and their families from all over Scotland to East Ayrshire. I will be there to enjoy the music and cheer on young people. The standard of performance last year was exceptional, and I can't wait to celebrate the wealth of talent that I am sure will be taken to the stage this year." The Scottish Schools Pipes and Drums Trust was formed with the belief that pipe bands are much more than a musical pastime. They develop life and employability skills such as teamwork, resilience and perseverance, self-confidence, camaraderie and a sense of discipline and dress. Preserve future. The charity also recognises that in parts of Scotland the pipes and drums are not taught in state schools and, where community pipe bands have disappeared too, the fragile cycle of teaching and learning in traditional music is being lost. The charity awards grants to those towards tuition and other band-related costs, lends bagpipes and concert chanters free of charge, and runs paid apprenticeships for aspiring tutors. For more information on the Scottish Schools Pipe Band Championships, visit www.thechampionships.org.uk. For more information on the Scottish Schools Pipes and Drums Trust, visit www.sspdt.org.uk.
Obituary: young in name and young in spirit. One of East Dunbartonshire's oldest residents has died, just weeks short of her 104th birthday. Margaret Young was born on February the 14th, 1920, in Rothesay, and came to live in Bishopbriggs when she was 7. The family home was the White House beside the Eagle Lodge. When her father retired from Blackie's Publishers, the family moved to Hilton Terrace and then to Springfield Terrace, which remained her home and where she continued to live independently and just after her 100th birthday. Margaret attended school in Bishopbriggs, but as this only provided secondary schooling until 3rd year, and with Bishopbriggs at that time being in Lanarkshire, she had to travel to Coatbridge for the remaining of her education. On leaving school, she took a secretarial course at college. The war interrupted her career, and in 1942 she joined the ATS in the Royal Corps of Signals, training at Newcastle before being dispatched to the south coast. She presumed that this would be secretarial work in an office, but she was sent to the gun operations room and recalled many stories of her time there, often not being able to leave when her shift was finished as bombs were flying overhead. She also spent a short time at Argowan House in Inverkip. It was a bone of contention that despite their war service, these women never received medals. A discussion just 6 years ago with a poppy seller resulted in her applying, and it was with pride that she wore her long overdue medal. In 1946, Margaret was demobbed and returned to secretarial work in Glasgow before being transferred to the firm's London office in 1953. On a visit home to see her parents in 1956, she had a chance meeting with George Wright of Kieran Codder in Bishopbriggs, who wanted to know why she chose to go away to work in London. Her reply was, "The pay was double what I could get here." She was eventually employed as his personal secretary at the same rate she got in London, and remained there until she retired. Margaret was a keen tennis and badminton player and was the lady captain of Codder Golf Club in Bishopbriggs in 1974. At the age of 75, she decided to take up bowling and joined Kirkintilloch Bowling Club, where she remained an active member until recently. Faith played a large part in Margaret's life, and she regularly walked along the canal to Codder Church in Bishopbriggs. She became an elder there in 1990, and right up until she turned 100, she was still welcoming people at the door and uplifting the offering. She joined the Codder Guild and was secretary, then president, in 1996, and continued to attend regularly, participating in meetings and happily providing home bacon when required. The minister at Codder Church, Reverend John McGregor, said, "Margaret was an inspiration, a wise person filled with grace and humility, who lived life in the fullest sense of the word. She was a tonic to visit, a positive and resilient person, someone who always had a smile. Margaret was the first person I visited when I arrived at Codder Church 7 years ago. She was in hospital but rallied from her illness. She loved life and was a faithful guild member. We trust that she knows the fullness of God's mercy and love." Margaret passed away peacefully at Stop Hill Care Home on January the 25th and was laid to rest on February the 13th, the day before what would have been her 104th birthday.
Animal charity calls for end to cruel sport. The UK's leading welfare charity has welcomed a consultation into the future of greyhound racing in Scotland. Since 2018, over more than 2,200 greyhounds died or were put to sleep because of racing on licensed tracks around the UK, and over 22,000 injuries recorded. These figures do not include those who have died or were injured while racing on independent tracks. Now, Dogs Trust and other animal welfare organisations including RSPCA, Blue Cross, Scottish SPCA and One Kind have called for an end to greyhound racing in Scotland to stop the unnecessary and completely preventable deaths of many of dogs every year. Earlier this year, Mark Ruskell MSP proposed a members' bill that, if introduced, would make it illegal to race greyhounds in Scotland. The consultation launched today outlines the proposals to phase out greyhound racing by the time the proposed bill would come into force, which is likely to be a period of over 12 months. In 2023, the Scottish Government consulted on licensing greyhound tracks. Following the consultation, it concluded that there was a strong case for the introduction of a statutory licensing scheme for greyhound racing in Scotland. However, Dogs Trust, along with many other organisations, does not believe that licensing tracks goes far enough to protect the welfare of the dogs involved in racing, and, instead, wants to see greyhound racing come to an end. Following the launch of the consultation on the future of greyhound racing in Scotland, the charity's chief executive, Owen Sharp, said, "We welcome this consultation on the future of greyhound racing in Scotland and appreciate the efforts of MSPs like Mark Ruskell, who are working hard to bring it to an end. It is simply not acceptable that across the UK, more than 2,200 greyhounds have died or were put to sleep since 2018, and more than 22,000 injuries recorded, all in the name of entertainment. We worked with the greyhound industry for many years to try and improve the welfare of dogs involved in greyhound racing. However, it's clear that the progress has not been made quickly enough or on a big enough scale to have any impact, and the industry is a long way from ensuring the welfare of all the dogs involved. Therefore, we believe the only option is to bring greyhound racing to a complete stop in Scotland and across the UK.
Family announcements. Deaths. Burrows. Lorna. Peacefully in Glasgow Royal Infirmary on February 2nd, 2024. Lorna, aged 79 years. Funeral service will take place on Wednesday, February 21st at Daldowie Crematorium for 2:45 p.m, followed by a service at Lenzie Old Parish Church at 3:45 p.m, to which all family and friends are welcome to attend both services. Family flowers only, donations in lieu to Marie Curie. Johnston, Margaret. Died peacefully on January 24th, 2024. Mum and Gran will be sadly missed but fondly remembered by sons Stephen and Alan, her wider family and friends. All are invited to attend her funeral service at J.D. Lawson in Kirkintilloch at 2 p.m. on Thursday, February 15th. Family flowers only, please. Charitable donations to Alzheimer's Research UK if wished.
Wednesday the 14th of February. Let's talk the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald letters page. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. When the library, the hall and the golf course close. Sir, the issue of cuts to public services and local councils affects everyone from children to pensioners. It is crucial we understand that the blame for these savage cuts lies squarely with the SNP Scottish Government. You can't point the finger of blame at Westminster, as the real-term cuts to councils are 3 times the reduction in the Scottish Block grant. Analysis by the politically neutral Institute for Fiscal Studies shows that, in real terms, the planned increase in council budget was only 1.6%, which is massively eroded by increased costs and wage rises. This lack of funding from the SNP government is what the cousin council spending cuts. SNP Minister Marie McCallum naively blamed previous Labour governments for using PFI schemes to build schools and hospitals for the pressure in council budgets, but fails to acknowledge that the SNP government still finances many projects using PFI under the sneakily changed names of Scottish Futures Trust and Hubco. When the library, community hall, playgroup and golf course are closed, remember that the SNP government is to blame. Yours, etc., James Quinn, address supplied. Where is our extra tax money going, Mr. Yousaf? Sir, having been the recipient of excellent NHS cardiac treatment, I am concerned that waiting lists for cardiology treatment in Scotland have reached record highs. Heart disease is a killer, and early intervention is crucial. With the Institute for Fiscal Studies indicating that the recent Scottish budget cut spending on the NHS by 0.7% in real terms, there seems very little chance that the situation will improve any time soon, and many people could become victims of unnecessary early deaths because of the Scottish Government's underfunding of public health. Admittedly, there are difficulties with the NHS south of the border, but that is really irrelevant to the people of Scotland, with health being a devolved responsibility. Where is our extra tax money going, Mr. Yousaf? Yours, etc., Bob McDougall, by email. Would you Adam and Eve it? Sir, as the Scottish Information Commissioner launches an official investigation into the SNP's widespread deletion of WhatsApp messages documenting COVID-related decision-making, we learn George Adam, the SNP Minister responsible for transparency and accountability, deletes all his WhatsApp messages after 24 hours, irrespective of their significance. Welcome to the SNP's Orwellian world of openness and transparency. Yours, etc., Martin Redfern, by email. Crocodile allegations. Sir, Nicola Sturgeon has been accused of shedding crocodile tears after breaking down at the UK COVID inquiry. Crocodile tears are considered to be devoid of emotion, based on the natural behaviour of the reptiles which produce those tears. They eat their prey in order to survive, and for no other reason. This interpretation is misleading, having nothing to do with pretense or hypocrisy. Crocodiles do produce tears while eating, hissing and puffing as they dine, but there is a physiological reason for this. I have no doubt Miss Sturgeon's tears were genuine, considering the humiliating position she was in. You don't have to be a stalwart SNP member to understand why she wept. Her whole life was dedicated to the cause of Scottish independence, and she failed to gain that goal. I'm not a nationalist, but I would never kick someone already down. Yours, etc., Caroline Taylor, by email. Swift, a MAGA nightmare. Sir, I don't know one track by Taylor Swift, said to be the most famous songstress on the planet. That's how out of touch I am. However, the word is that the Make America Great Again, MAGA, supporters of Donald Trump in the US, are worried she might come out strongly for Biden in the presidential race, and she's big enough to tip the balance against their man. Strange that one influencer might make the difference in saving Ukraine, or finding a just solution for Palestinians. Yours, etc., Crawford Mackey, address supplied. And that was this week's letters page. Search now on for our finest woods. Scotland's Finest Woods Awards are back this year after a wonderful celebration in 2023. This year, 4 key areas form the focus of the prestigious awards: climate, community, forestry and farming. The environment is central to everything the awards are about, and the competition for the Climate Change Champion Trophy promises a strong field. Last year, the Future Forest Company for Dumyat, near Stirling, took the prize with a multi-use forest for the future, which saw great examples of carbon sequestration, enhancing biodiversity and providing for communities. Jean Nairn, Scotland's Finest Woods Executive Director, said, "Forestry and agriculture play a vital role in the rural economy of Scotland, and we are proud to celebrate that in our awards. They are also an important player in the nation's attempts to move to net zero and tackle climate change, helping the environment not only by reducing CO2, but also reducing the risk of flooding and protecting vital peatland habitats, as well as helping agriculture thrive." Last year it was great to see lots of community involvement from both young and old, and in the award we are expecting the same again in 2024. It is vital the fight against climate change involved all sectors of society, so everyone can help mitigate, educate and adapt to the challenges we face in Scotland and across the globe. Across Scotland we know there are inspirational people who are making a difference through their commitment to the woodlands they own, manage and volunteer in. This is the chance to celebrate them. Forestry and farming form a bedrock for the awards, with the vital work in integrating trees into the Scottish landscape to benefit wood production and agriculture, as well as the environment. This year, the Farm Woodland Award Whole Farm / Croft comes with the magnificent Lilburn Trophy for an active farmer / crofter anywhere in Scotland, which will be sponsored by Fountains Forestry UK Limited. Without sponsors and supporters there would be no annual awards, and the organisers are grateful for the new and continued support. The Scottish Government continues to support ambitious tree planting targets, and organisers are hoping for another exceptional set of winners in 2024. Cabinet Secretary for Rural Affairs, Land Reform and Islands, Marie Goujon, presented the awards last year. She said, "The awards are a great opportunity to showcase Scotland's woodlands and the very people who work tirelessly to manage and care for them. There's a great variety of awards involved in practice in farm woodlands, climate change, community involvement, schools and native woodlands. I would encourage all those to enter the awards, and helped make the 2024 event another big success. The awards are open to any high quality project, whether that be a nursery school, forestry business, expert forester, farmer, crofter or community woodland. Entries must be submitted by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, March the 31st. For entry forms, visit www.sfwa.co.uk.
Thank you for helping with DEC Emergency. The Disasters Emergency Committee in Scotland has thanked generous Scots for raising more than £13 million for millions of people affected by the Turkey-Syria earthquakes exactly 1 year ago. The devastating earthquakes in southern Turkey and northwest Syria killed more than 56,000 people. More than £13 million has been raised in Scotland since the disaster, with £158 million raised across the UK over the past year, making this the third largest appeal in the DEC's history. This includes £500,000 from the Scottish Government, with the UK Government matching £5 million in donations through the Aid Match scheme. This generosity enabled the DEC's 15 member charities and their local partners to help more than 1 million people in the first 6 months after the disaster and many more since. Support will continue for the next 12 months for the most vulnerable people who lost loved ones, their homes and livelihoods, helping them on the long road to recovery. Oxfam is one of 6 DEC members who work together in Scotland to raise awareness following major international disasters. Jamie Livingston, head of Oxfam Scotland, said, "These deadly earthquakes not only killed more than 50,000 people, many of whom were asleep in their beds, they also left nearly 18 million people in need of urgent humanitarian assistance. The scale of the challenge facing DEC charities was enormous, but so was the Scottish public's response. We're grateful to the Scottish Government and everyone else here who put their hands in their pockets to save lives." Walk the Walk stands up to help charity. Walk the Walk has awarded national cancer charity Cancer Support UK a £48,000 £941 grant. The funding will allow Cancer Support UK to provide increased practical and emotional support to people living with and beyond cancer. Walk the Walk is best known as the organiser of the iconic Moonwalk. Thanks to Walk the Walk's award, Cancer Support UK will be able to produce and deliver 750 cancer kits and provide 150 Cancer Coach Support Programme places for people living with and beyond breast cancer who are struggling with anxiety and mental health issues. Additionally, the money will enable the training of 2 Cancer Support UK volunteer facilitators to help deliver the Cancer Coach programme. Mark Geimer, CEO of Cancer Support UK, said, "We're extremely grateful to Walk the Walk for this grant. As a small charity, we receive no government support. Our income is entirely made up of donations, gifts and grants. Our cancer kits are designed to provide relief to cancer patients during their gruelling treatment journey. Recipients tell us that the kits mean a great deal to them, making them feel less alone, offering comfort and practical relief from the pain and discomfort of treatment. A cancer diagnosis can be life-changing, but going into remission can be equally difficult. Our Cancer Coach programme gives people who have completed cancer treatment the tools to support better mental health." Nina Barrow, Walk the Walk Chief Executive, added, "The work which Cancer Support UK is doing to help support cancer patients through an incredibly difficult time really is life-changing."
Search begins for Upper Crust. Cabinet Secretary for Rural Affairs, Land Reform and Islands, Marie Goujon, has launched a search for the Scottish Baker of the Year 2024-25 in Edinburgh, where she expects her support for the bakery sector in Scotland. Hosted by competition organisers Scottish Bakers and the current title holders Mimi's Bakehouse, the Cabinet Secretary highlighted the importance of the competition and the pivotal role the Scottish bakery sector plays in both the economic and cultural fabric of Scotland. The Scottish Baker of the Year competition is a brainchild of Scottish bakers, The association, which supports the needs of bakers throughout Scotland, and it has been running for over 10 years. The competition is not merely a contest of skills, it is a platform for creativity and a catalyst for innovation and growth that offers the perfect opportunity for the Scottish Bakers members to engage with consumers through the Consumer Choice Award. The perfect blend of time-honoured techniques with innovative ideas, resulting in bakery products that captivate the taste buds of both existing and future consumers. The competition builds the pathway to the new product innovation, category demand and insight driven by the next generation of younger consumers. Ms. Goujon supported the competition launch with a strong call to action to both consumers and Scottish bakers. Ms. Goujon said, "Scotland's bakers are at the heart of our local communities, turning natural ingredients into an incredible range of delicious products for everyone in Scotland to enjoy. Our bakery sector plays a pivotal role in our economy. Alongside the wider food and drink industry, we are continuing to support the sector as we work towards making Scotland a world-leading nation in sustainable production and responsible growth." The Scottish Baker of the Year competition is not only a platform for creativity, but a catalyst for innovation and growth. I encourage bakers across the country to take part in this amazing opportunity, and I am excited to see who will be crowned the winner. Voting is open until April the 3rd. QR codes are available in store at all participating bakeries, or shoppers can vote online at www.bakeroftheyear.scot.
Scottish Labour raise call-out alarm. Scottish Labour say there is a crisis in the SFRS after it was revealed average response times have lengthened by over 80% in just a decade. Freedom of Information figures revealed the median response time for life risk only incidents to be 90 seconds longer than 2013, increasing from 7 minutes 9 seconds to 8 minutes 36 seconds, a change of 83%. The equivalent figures for primary fires and secondary fires are 81% and 85% respectively. Since the service was centralised in 2013, around £64 million has been cut from the SFRS budget in real terms, leading to over 1,200 jobs being cut. The Fire Brigade Union's report, published in October, described the service as being crisis, citing insufficient staffing levels, inadequate and out-of-date equipment, crumbling infrastructure, an aggressive management culture, falling training standards and an ageing workforce exposed to dangerous contaminants.
Some church news on the district news page of the Kirkintilloch Herald. We begin with St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, February 18th will begin at 11 a.m. as usual and be taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. There will be age-appropriate activities for our young people in the halls. Pancake lunch will take place in the church halls after the service. There will be a savoury course followed by sweet pancakes on February the 14th, Wednesday. Welcome will take place when tea, coffee and home baking will be available from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m, followed by a short service taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. Kirkintilloch Church of God. At Regent Hall, Regent on Sunday, there will be a good news service at 4 p.m. The speaker this week will be Rodney Johnson with an illustrated talk on his recent visit to India. A warm welcome to all. Every Wednesday, our coffee corner is open from noon till 2 p.m. for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and our neighbours for a chat over a coffee. For an up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. The Bible says, "The message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." And that's found in 1 Corinthians 1 verse 18. And some more news too from St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. The rector is the Reverend Canon Paul Watson, and his phone number is 0141 230 4080. On Wednesday, February the 14th, Ash Wednesday, there will be a service at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. with the imposition of ashes. Please note the service on Thursday, February the 15th at 11 a.m. is cancelled. On Saturday, February the 17th, Dads and Kids is held from 10:45 a.m. to noon and is a great chance for dads with young children to get together around some banter, bacon rolls and coffee while the kids play. On Sunday, February the 18th, there will be a Sunday club at 10:30 a.m. There is a communion service on Sunday, the February the 18th, in the chapel at 9 a.m. and at 10:30 a.m. in the church. All welcome. Stay on for tea, coffee and fellowship afterwards. There are also other virtual services and groups for an up-to-date and further information. Refer to our social media, Facebook, St James LS Bishopbriggs website, www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. And now to Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday worship begins at the church at 11 a.m. A creche is available for children under 3. The Quilt and Craft Group meet every Wednesday 10 a.m. to noon in the session room. Time out on Monday, February the 19th is Looking Back with Mary Frame at 7:45 in the church hall. Thursday afternoon club is on Thursday, February the 15th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Enjoy tea, coffee and home baking, followed by a game of Scrabble, Dominoes, Rubik's Cube or Uno. If you prefer, you can sit back and chat and or do your own knitting there. There's also books for sale and any donations go to Women's Aid. Scottish Country Dancing is on every Thursday, 7:15 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Come along for fun, fitness and friendship. You'll be made very welcome. Come and sing. The Dementia Singing Group meets on Tuesday, February the 20th at 1:15 p.m. in the church hall. A warm welcome awaits all and of course a cuppa and some delicious home baking. Please feel free to come and sing. Now to Lenzie Union Parish Church. Sunday the service is at 11 a.m. and will be led by the Reverend Dan Carmichael. Young people are also welcome to Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube via our website. The meeting place opens for tea, coffee and home baking every Wednesday at 10 a.m. till noon. In the new hall, everyone from the very young to the young at heart is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greeting cards and second-hand books for sale. Youth Cafe is on Thursdays between 3:45 p.m. to 5 p.m, a place where young people can hang out and relax and have a good time after a long day at school. Each week there is a free snack with lots of different things to do, such as games, consoles, table tennis, arts and crafts, board games and more. The coffee pot is open on Fridays at 10 a.m. till noon in the new hall for teas, coffee and chat. Lenzie loves Lego on Saturday, February the 17th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. in Lenzie Union New Hall. Build what you fancy. Please bring an adult. Watch a short Lego video. Coffee, tea, juice, biscuits provided. Silver Movers Dance exercise takes place at 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. in the Old Hall on the first and third Monday of each month. Come and dance, relax and enjoy. Contact Claire on 07789 425 547 or email alpha.lenzie@gmail.com. Church news here from Kenmure Parish Church. Don't forget Messy Breakfast starts at 10 a.m. each Sunday morning, a time of videos, games and of course breakfast for the children. Please note that an adult must remain with the child. Alison and Bruce Keith will lead our worship at 11 a.m, which will include a baptism. You are welcome to join us, both in church and on our YouTube channel. The service on YouTube can be watched live as it is streamed or later at a time that suits you. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. Teas and coffees and the time of fellowship follows the end of the church service. The most up-to-date details of all our groups and that are currently running may be found on our website, kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. If you'd like to join on the WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kenmurechurch@icloud.com. Home Church Scotland is on Lammermuir Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB. Home Church Kirkintilloch, Home Church East End, Carmyle in G32 8DP, and online a church for all ages. You, Lord, are forgiving and good, abounding in love to all who call to you. And that's in Psalm 85:5. Sunday, February 18th, 9:30 a.m. Prayer meeting followed by refreshments at 11 a.m. The worship service will be followed by more refreshments, and a warm welcome awaits you. And also at Home Church in Carmyle, 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Tuesdays is Engine Room at 9:30 a.m. Home groups, Tuesday. Bible study on Zoom Wednesdays, now called Boiler Room, in church at 7:15 p.m. and on all social media platforms. Craft and Coffee Fridays at 10 a.m. Youth group Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Prayer meeting Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Home radio is available every day. Encounter Conference is on Friday, February the 23rd to Saturday the 24th, and it's a free event. See Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for the latest information for Carmyle Church and Kirkintilloch Church. Colston Well Park Church. Colston Church is open to all, so feel free to join us this Sunday for our morning service at 11 a.m, led by the Reverend Malcolm Cuthbertson. You are invited to join us for tea, coffee and conversation after the service. This Monday, the Art Club continues from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And anyone and everyone who's enthusiastic about art, why not pop in or phone Ramsey on 07709 584 680. The Colston Tea Break, our community drop-in, continues every Wednesday from 11 till 12:30 p.m. And enjoy good food, good chat and good company, and it's free. The food bank continues its essential work within the community and is open every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. To all who assist and continually donate foodstuffs, we give our sincere thanks. And then to Springfield, Cambridge. Morning worship on Sunday, February 18th will be conducted by the Reverend Ian Taylor, assisted by our Assistant Minister, Mrs. Julia Harty, in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. Tea and coffee will be served in the Cameron Hall, and after morning worship, come along and enjoy the fellowship. No collection is taken during the service, so donations can be made by placing them in the offering plates in the Hall of Fellowship as you enter or leave the building. The Sunday School meets in Room 2, where creche facilities are also available. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, February the 14th, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for anyone who would like to speak with the minister. There will be a short weekly service of worship in the Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, February the 14th, from 11:10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m, followed by tea and coffee in the Hall of Fellowship. The latest edition of the Springfield Cambridge Record is now available online. The annual fundraising quiz and fish supper night will take place on Saturday, March the 2nd, and tickets will be available in the Hall of Fellowship and on Sundays, February 18th and 25th, before and after the service. Milton of Campsie Church. We meet for worship on Sunday, February the 18th at 11 a.m. All the children's and youth groups meet as normal. Now into Lent, we'll focus on the Passover. Please send us a photo of yourself with something from the Passover table, a boiled egg or a cedar plate, red juice, herbs, unleavened bread, or a biscuit. Also on Sunday, we will visit the care homes, meet outside Kintyre home at 2:30 p.m. February's charity of the month is Interserve, bringing the good news of Jesus to Asia. Baby and toddler groups, hobbies, clubs and badminton meet on Monday. Cathy Connect is on Tuesday morning at 9:30 a.m. On Wednesday at 7 p.m, we meet for a time to pray in the Eric Liddell. Come when you can, leave when you must. Also on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m, the Guild will meet for a talk on forensic investigation. On Friday, the BB Anchor and Junior sections meet at 6:15. Posters and invitations are now ready for Go Mad Extra on Sunday, February the 25th, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. It will be a busy 2 hours. Register with Jot form. Cawdor Parish Church, we look forward to welcoming you this coming Sunday for our morning service. The service will be led by the Reverend John McGregor and Chris Gordon, who is a probationer minister. Our music is led by Javier Jose Esendo Mali. Also, all are welcome. Tea and coffee served after both services. Food bank, if you wish to donate to the local food bank, you can bring your donations of food to the church or the coffee shop. Early fellowship meets in person in the South Hall Chapel at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday and on Zoom. Cawdor Cafe Shop, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Friday 10 to noon. The final winter warm for this session is on Friday, February the 16th at 1:30 in the South Hall Coffee Shop. All are welcome. Men's Club, South Hall Chapel, Tuesday, February the 20th at 1:15 for lunch at the coffee shop, 2 to 2:15 for meeting. Cawdor Messy Plays restart Tuesday, February the 20th and Thursday, February the 22nd in the South Hall, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The next meeting of the Guild is on Thursday, February the 15th in the South Halls at 7 p.m. Our speaker is Ruthbox from Chocolate Heaven, the last of this block of projects. Our fundraiser for our projects is Taylor Fashions and is on Thursday, February 29th. Tickets are now on sale. We are the host for the Bishopbriggs World Day of Prayer meeting, which is in our South Halls on Friday, March the 1st at 10:30 a.m. Climate Change Conference Saturday, March the 9th from 10 till 1 p.m. at Cawdor Church South Halls. 92nd Glasgow Company of the Girls Brigade meet on Tuesdays. Explorers Primary 1 to Primary 3 at 6:15 to 7:30 p.m. Juniors P4 to P7, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Brigadiers S1 to S6, 7:30 to 9 p.m. and the 212 Boys Brigade Anchor Boys P1 to 3 Monday 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Junior section also meets on Monday at 7:30 p.m. to 8:30. Company Senior section Primary 5 to S6 Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Please see our website www.cawdorchurch.org for more information. And that's the church news for this week.
Wednesday the 14th of February, District News General. Horticultural Society. Our next meeting will be on Thursday, February the 22nd, when we look forward to our annual dinner at the Broadcroft Hotel. Anyone wishing to join or find out more about the Society can call Paul Malcolm on 0141 578 1520 or visit our website www.kirkintillochhorty.org.uk. Young Scots Cellist in Concert. An outstanding young Scottish cellist, Hugh Mackay, makes his debut at Mulgai Music Club in Cairns Church, Mulgai, on Friday, February the 23rd. Hugh is partnered by Chinese pianist Yunyan Shen and an exciting programme of music by Mendelssohn, Shostakovich, and contemporary composers Sally Beamish and Gareth Farr. Hugh has performed in many unique venues in the UK and abroad. Shanghai-born pianist Junyan Chen is also a recent graduate of the Royal Academy of Music with a special affinity for contemporary composers. Tickets online www.mogaimusic.org. That's www.milgaviemusic.org, or the Honeybee Bakery, 48 Station Road, Milngavie. Competition: searching for rare or unusual plants. Rhododendron, the Dowager. The Threatened Plant of the Year 2024 competition, Planet Heritage annual search for rare or unusual plants being cared for by gardeners, begins again this February. Anyone can take part, from hobbyist amateur gardeners to professionals. All you need to do is look for any rare, unusual or special named cultivars growing in your garden that aren't currently available to buy from a nursery, garden centre or another source. Entrants can submit up to 5 different cultivars, but all must have been grown or sold in the UK and Ireland prior to 2014. Any type of plant is considered, from seasonal daffodils to striking dahlias that will bloom in the summer. Those wishing to take part have until May the 19th to submit their entries, which will be shortlisted by an expert panel of judges from Plant Heritage. The winner will be presented with an engraved Threatened Plant of the Year 2024 Winners' Vase certificate and special plant label at the world-renowned NHS Hampton Court Palace Garden Festival on Monday, July the 1st. To find out more and to enter, visit bit.ly/TPO-TY 2024. Jill Groombridge, business manager at Plant Heritage, says, "The importance of discovering and caring for rare and threatened plants that may not exist anywhere else in the country cannot be overstated. Through our Threatened Plant of the Year competition, we can ensure that rare plants are protected and propagated to ensure they have a secure future ahead. Plants play a fundamental role in helping mitigate against the effects of climate change, so it's highly important to conserve a rich horticulture by knowing what plants we have and working to breed even more of them if we can. Every year we receive an incredible array of entries, including many that we didn't even know existed, so we're very excited to see what gems are submitted this year. An incredible rare Chanomyle speciosa contorta, an ornamental quince, won last year's competition. Grown by David Ford in Surrey, the winning plant was thought to be the only one of 5 of its kind still known to exist in the UK. The popular competition is now in its 5th year. As a small charity, Plant Heritage relies on dedicated volunteers to ensure the vital planting conservation work is possible. Find out more at www.plantheritage.org.uk. Shh! It's also very quiet. An evening at First Lindsay Girls Brigade is normally a noisy one, but a Tuesday night last autumn was very different. It was completely silent. The company are supporting Glasgow Children's Hospital charity as a service aspect of their badge work this year. Julia from the charity visited to tell the girls about all the work the charity do in funding life-changing equipment and support services for children attending the hospital. The girls then took part in a sponsored silence to fundraise for the charity. They did amazingly well in keeping completely silent and raised a huge amount of £965, which was presented to Julia on a return visit. The girls thank everyone for all their support.
Halliday aiming to join the elite. An article written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. A new documentary tells the story of the first and only elite athlete to represent Scotland on the world stage at HYROX. Elite. The Unseen Journey of Graham Halliday has been released by Built for Athlete on its YouTube channel. Halliday, who is the owner and personal trainer at Elation Fitness Suite in Park House, began competing in Hydrox HYDROX, the Global Fitness Racing Competition last year. As a child, he wasn't really into sports, instead preferring to work out at the gym, and from 14 years old was already training 3 times per week. However, when Halliday found Hyrox, HYROX, he was inspired to discover more purpose in his training than ever before. He garnered mass attention within the Hyrox community when he won the first ever Glasgow Hyrox race in February of last year. 3 months later, he would place 5th in the Elite 15 race at the 2023 Hyrox World Championships in Manchester, as there was little doubt he has a very bright future. The documentary explores Halliday's life as a dedicated athlete, while exploring the trials and tribulations he faced. He gives viewers an insight into his diet, fitness routine, and the ups and downs of his mental health, with commentary from his partner, Hyrox athlete Hannah Hegarty, offering a nuanced portrayal of his steadfast commitment to the sport. Halliday said, "I still feel like I am the underdog, and that is a good place to be. I would like to show what I know I am capable of, and Stockholm was a chance for me to prove myself. I'm just focused on the next thing. Go forward, try and get better. Otherwise the next guy is going to take my spot. Being viewed as a top-tier athlete motivates me. It shows me that anyone can train hard and dedicate their lives to this sport. One thing I want people to take away from this documentary is if you have determination, you can go ahead and follow your dreams." That article was written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Fullback Amy Muir extends City stay. An article written by Jill Buchanan and read by me, Corey. Officials and fans of Glasgow City were delighted with the news that fullback Amy Muir has signed a new contract which sees her stay at the club until the summer of 2026. Amy joined the club in 2022 and made her debut against Spartans at the start of the title-winning 2022-2023 season, playing a crucial role within the squad featuring 35 times in all competitions. The Scotland international has continued to make regular strong contributions this season, notching up a total of 56 appearances for the club and scoring 3 goals. Commenting on her new deal, Amy said, "I'm delighted to be continuing my stay at this club. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time here so far, and feel I have more to give as a player on and off the pitch, to continue contributing to the success of the team." Head coach Leanne Ross was pleased to see another player commit to the club, saying, "It comes as welcome news to everyone at the club that Amy has reached an agreement to extend her contract at Glasgow City. Since her arrival in 2022, Amy has worked hard on and off the pitch to develop every aspect of her game, and in doing so has become one of our most consistent and influential performers. Amy is a fantastic professional and, in my opinion, one of the best attacking fullbacks Scotland has to offer. She leads by example in the way she trains, plays and conducts herself in football and everyday life. It is for those reasons I am delighted to have the opportunity to continue working together, and look forward to supporting Amy in her development and achievement of further success in the orange and black of Glasgow City." On Sunday, City had to come from behind to eventually run out convincing winners against Montrose at Lynx Park. Tammy Harkin gave Montrose the lead, but goals from Kenzie Weir, a first Glasgow City goal from Carly Gimona, a double from Fiona Brown and a late strike from Maired Fulton secured the victory. City are next in action next Sunday, when they travel to K Park to face Motherwell. That article was written by Jill Buchanan and read by me, Corey. Rossvale hit 9 to maintain top spot. This article is unattributed, but it's being read by me, Corey. Rossvale put 9 goals past West Dekeat Peters Hill to maintain an impressive run in the SWF Championship and keep them in pole position for promotion. Championship top scorer Megan Whiteford scored an early brace, which, boosted by goals from Coleman, Sarah Wardlaw and Gemma McQuillan, gave the Glasgow side a 5-0 lead at half-time. Wardlaw scored twice early in the second half to complete her hat-trick before Kelsey Martin sealed the deal on 71 minutes after Julie Binney had scored a consolation from the visitors from around 25 yards out. Jane O'Toole scored Rossvale's 9th in the last minute of the game. Elsewhere, second-placed Ayr United kept pace with an 8-0 home victory over Hutchison Vale, while Inverness Caledonian Thistle were beaten 2-0 by Dryborough Athletic in Dundee. An injury-time winner from Holly McIndo gave Renfrew Ladies a 2-1 win over East Fife. In SWF's League 1, table toppers Forfar Farmington came from behind to beat lively Queen of the South 3-2 at home. Steinhouse Muir beat Bonnyrigg Rose 3-0 and Airdrie Ladies won by the same scoreline at Dundee West. St Mirren won 4-1 at home to Griffnock Soccer Centre. In the regional SWFL, Armadale Thistle remained top of an extremely competitive East League with a 2-1 victory over nearest challengers Edinburgh South, while Glenrothes Strollers moved into second in the table, coming back from 3-0 down against Linlithgow Rose to win 4-3. Ayr United Development stay top of the SWFL South, beating Bishopton 8-2, and in West, Glenifer Thistle scored 6 against Cumbernauld Colts. That article was unattributed, but it was being read by me, Corey. Hat-trick of loan signings join Rob Roy for season. This article is unattributed, but it's being read by me, Corey. Midfielder Jamie Taggart is the latest on-loan signing for Rob Roy. Jamie come to the West of Scotland Football League side for the remainder of the season from Championship club Partick Thistle. Still in the first year of his modern apprenticeship with the Jags, Jamie recently returned from a loan spell with Gartcairn and now heads to Guy's Meadow to work under Danny Ferry. He could be making his debut when Rob Roy play host to 4th in the table Beath Juniors this Saturday. Thistle boss Chris Doolan told the Jags website Jamie only signed his first full-time deal within the club last summer, but we've been really impressed with him when he's been training with us. That being said, we still feel it's in his best interest to go out on loan again and get more playing time. This move gives him that opportunity and will serve him much better than sitting in the stands every weekend. He'll still be able to do some training with us, so hopefully the combination of the two will help him push on as a player. Jamie joins other recent loan signings Dominic Carvana from Airdrie and Jake Ruxton from St Carrick's Seniors. On Saturday, next week's opponents, Beath, were narrowly beaten 3-2 by Troon, who now sit just 1 point above Rob Roy in the league. In other matches, bottom of the table Irvine Meadow XL had a 2-1 victory over Pollock, while Largs Thistle beat Glen after 3-2 away from home. Darvel had a convincing 3-0 victory over Lochie United, and it was a similar scoreline for Auchinleck Talbot when they hosted Hurlford for a home win. Bells Hill lost 2-1 at home to Arthule, and there was also a 2-1 home defeat for Ben Burb when they hosted Cumnock Juniors. Gartcairn notched up a 1-0 victory away from home against current league leaders Clydebank. Despite the defeat, Clydebank remain on the top with 41 points, with Cumnock in second on 34 points. Beath remain third on 32 points, but have 5 games in hand. The Donny Livingston Supporters Club bus for Saturday's match at Beath will leave the Chase at 1 p.m. and Tirewise bus stop at 1:10 p.m. That article was unattributed, but it was being read by me, Connie.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.